Starting with Super Mario Kart in 1992, we've been witness to numerous games that feature mascot characters bouncing around in go-karts, using kooky weapons to gain an advantage. The kart racing genre has spanned multiple hardware generations and has been host to the likes of Crash Bandicoot, Diddy Kong, and yes, even Metal Gear Solid's Cyber Ninja. For whatever reason, Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog never really had any games that fit neatly into the definition of a kart racer. The closest the blue blur ever came was Sonic Drift on the Game Gear, and though it was a nice novelty then, by today's standards, it's rather embarrassing. This brings us to Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Sonic's first serious endeavor in the genre. Created by the team responsible for Outrun 2006 and Virtua Tennis, can this speedy hedgehog keep up with the genre's titans? All-Stars Racing does not stray far from the kart racing standard. The game's 24 tracks are broken up into 6 Grand Prix Cups, accessible at 3 difficulty levels: Beginner, Advanced, and Expert. In addition to the usual single race and time trial modes, the game is complemented by a lengthy mission mode, which lets you hone your skills with specialized challenges, such as drifting as much as possible or overpowering a boss before time runs out. If you're looking for some human opposition, there's the game's multiplayer mode, featuring split-screen and online racing. The game lets you get behind the wheel of 22 racers spread out over more than a dozen franchises, and though the roster resurrects obscure characters like Alex Kidd and Ulala, it is clearly weighted in favor of Sonic and his friends. Even with the emphasis on the Sonic franchise, though, the driver roster is considerably more diverse than the tracks you are allowed to race on. Of the 24 venues, only 6 Sega properties are featured: Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Monkey Ball, Billy Hatcher, Jet Set Radio Future, Samba de Amigo, and House of the Dead. The spread of environments in each property is also a little bit skewed, as you race through Sonic's Seaside Hill 3 separate times, but each of the 3 Super Monkey Ball tracks are set in unique locales. As of this review, Sega is already hinting about future downloadable expansions, but it would have been nice to see a wider variety of race venues right out of the box.
I'm getting hungry.
Depending on who you are, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing is either the kart racer you've been waiting for, or a source of immense frustration. As Nintendo's focus on accessibility has increased, the Mario Kart series has begun to move away from skilled gameplay, and more towards unpredictable chaos. It has begun to feel like Mario Kart punishes you for being in first place, as many of the weapons and items are specifically designed to disable the lead driver. Though it breeds an environment where even the most inexperienced players can win, there are only so many times you can lose a race to a lucky item before it feels less like luck and more like cheating. All-Stars Racing responds to this by being far more rewarding to skilled players. It is equally important to both drive well and use weapons intelligently. It is never more obvious as it is in each racer's All-Star move. All-Star moves are designed to shake up a track and hopefully provide a struggling player with an upper hand over his competitors. But unlike Mario Kart's Lightning Bolt or Blue Shell, an All-Star move does not guarantee an easy win. It requires a fair amount of skill to use effectively. In the right hands, an All-Star is a valuable asset for evening the odds of a one-sided race, which makes its omission from online multiplayer a disappointment. The emphasis on skilled play ends up being both a blessing and a curse in this regard. Though not as prominent as in Mario Kart, if you join an online race and aren't up to snuff with the competition, you're going to be left in the dust. If you want to stay competitive, mastering drifting technique on the game's narrow, winding tracks is not a suggestion, it's a requirement. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel like quite enough. Kart racing veterans will most likely breeze through all 6 Grand Prix mode cups in around 2 hours, and unlike Mario Kart, there's no incentive for playing the same tracks on harder difficulties. Every race you complete earns you Sega Miles, the game's currency for buying unlockable content, but regardless of whether you're playing on the easiest difficulty or the hardest, you earn roughly the same amount. In terms of raw numbers, All-Stars Racing has the same amount of content as other games in the genre, but rather than spread it out as a reward for finishing the game on each difficulty setting, it's instead unlocked a little too easily and a little too quickly. Plus, for all the options the game offers in customizing a race, there are no reverse or mirror mode options, something other kart racers use to showcase existing tracks in a new context. Online multiplayer may provide a considerable amount of replay value, but even that feels a little bit neutered, as the arena-based modes like Battle and Capture the Chow cannot be played online, only via split screen. I could sit here and nitpick a handful of other little problems, but at the end of the day, none of that changes the fact that All-Stars Racing is a fun game, and well worth the price of admission. If you've been getting frustrated with Mario Kart's growing emphasis on being a chaotic party game instead of running a good race, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing might just be what you're looking for.